All right, let's go ahead and get started, and then I'll just kind of let the few other people coming in, I'll let them in as we get going. Just to kind of go ahead and get started with today's webinar, I'm Hallie. I'll be walking us through everything today. If at any point in time you have any questions that come up as we're going through things, go ahead, leave them in the chat, and I can answer them as they come in. Otherwise, we'll have time at the end of the webinar for a Q&A where everyone can kind of ask questions, see how Reviewr might fit in your event. But just to kind of give you all a little bit of a background, so Reviewr was started in 2011, and over the past 15 years, we've continuously been making improvements towards the application management process. If you're unfamiliar with Reviewr, we can run pretty much any kind of application process that you would like to run. So scholarships, grants, today we'll be talking a lot about awards, but call for entries, basically anything where you are intaking applications we can run through Reviewr. And that's kind of what our focus is on. So we were founded because some of our members, our team members, have been on those review panels, been running application programs, and kind of have seen that disconnect. And so with that, they have created a Reviewr and really have just worked every single year on continuously improving that process to eventually make it as well-rounded, as well-equipped as it possibly can be. So just to go ahead and kind of hop right into things, I'll try and keep it at around 30 minutes, and we'll go ahead and get started. So today we'll be talking about how your awards have an engagement problem and not a marketing problem. A lot of the awards we see, we have the same name.
Love you, baby. Okay, bye-bye.
We have the same names come up winning every single year. And so with that, we want to figure out kind of why that is and how we can improve that. So some of the main things we'll touch on are categories that reflect real work, recognition, members' value, and then data-driven refinement. So just to kind of go over what we will be covering in today's webinar, number one is it is a design problem and not a marketing problem. So looking past just thinking that the reason why you don't have very many applicants is because you haven't reached them, haven't reached out enough, haven't made that effort to kind of get everyone that you need to, when really that's not the problem. It's more so the process of the actual application program that is kind of deferring your potential applicants away. Second thing is categories that reflect real contribution, inclusive categories that members can actually see themselves in, and also including enough categories, enough opportunities for everyone involved, not just for those same tenured applicants that you see from year to year winning those same names. Third thing is going to be recognition worth having. So instead of just giving out a plaque every year, kind of have more bang for your buck. Visibility, growth, and rewards that are going to matter, are going to make a difference in these members' day-to-day lives, their operations, however that might be. Next thing is recognition all year and everywhere that members are going to work. A lot of our admin come in and we run an award program for about a month out of the year, and then you don't hear anything about it or for it for the rest of the year, which is a really big problem. And part of that can be fixed by kind of opening up your awards program to something bigger than what you are used to. And then last thing that we'll touch on is data-driven refinement. So using your participation data to make those categories better, your timing and your structure, and overall improve your cycle every single year using those reports, that data that you can capture when it's all in one place. First thing that we're going to really touch in on is that it is not a marketing problem, it is a design problem. Number one thing that we like to jump to when seeing that we haven't increased our numbers and we kind of just aren't seeing that outcome that we're hoping for is I haven't reached the right people. I haven't advertised this enough. Our marketing is off. Why are people not applying? When really the big reason is because your application process is not suitable for people to actually want to be filling out. It's not something exciting that they look forward to filling out every year, and instead just kind of a transaction that you will have to go in, go through this uncomfortable, not super intuitive process, click submit just for nothing to ever come of it. So what we see a lot of our awards programs who are coming into Reviewr is that the same people are winning every year. You're sending out a million reminder emails manually, and you are just having the same low turnout, and all that work that you as an admin have to put in goes to waste. Your one window opens and then it closes, all within a short time frame. Feels like an annual formality. There's this big excitement about it for maybe one day out of the year, when really we need to expand that into an all year thing. We want there to be workforce buzz around it all the time, year-round nominations. Really that opportunity for people to embrace and kind of enjoy the application process, not just a one and done quick, let's go move on with our day. And then no one is knowing why your participation is flat. So some of the root cause of those symptoms, number one is again, your categories are going to reward one kind of contribution. This is the number one thing that we see when people are bringing their awards programs into Reviewr, is that there's maybe three awards, and that those three awards maybe pertain to 10% of your association population, which at the end of the day just is not going to give you what you are wanting to get out of your awards program. When those awards don't pertain to hardly anyone, then that automatically lessens who is going to apply and who can apply for these awards. Number two is it just makes everyone who doesn't fit into that short category of people, it makes them feel like they're not important. It feels like your association is not including everyone and not recognizing the good work that everyone is putting in, whether you've been there for 10 years or not. Second thing is no real reason to apply. A lot of times, maybe there is one gala or conference where you get to showcase who won this specific award, but other than that, that's about it. And that's great to award your members and show them that you care. But what we really want to encourage is giving them more of a reason to apply. Incentives, give them some social media presence. Anything that can kind of tie into your association and can help showcase what they're doing is a really great way to help people feel excited and want to be nominated, want to nominate people, want to apply, that kind of thing. Next thing that we kind of touched on is awards opening for a short window. When you have such a short window, it allows less time for everyone to apply. Everyone knows that things can't come up. And when it is applying or nominating, sometimes that's not at the top of the bucket list. And while that's not something that we can change, having a year-round awards program is a great way to give everyone the time of day to put that nomination in, put that award in. You're going to end up with more nominations, more applications, which is a really great thing. We always want to be growing our programs. And then that really just gives everyone an equal opportunity. It's not succumbed to who's busy right now, who's not, who's able to take the time and do this, and who's not. Next thing is a clunky process that makes the program a formality to join. We really want to make sure, number one thing is making sure that our applicants have a great process when it comes to applying for your awards or nominating for your awards. Keeping it a clean process, pretty quick, easy and intuitive, not confusing, not a maze for those members is really important on giving them that great experience that they deserve. Once again, when your applicants and your judges do have good experience, that's automatically going to make them want to encourage other people to apply. Hey, Jordan, this was so easy for me to apply to this awards program. You really should give it a shot. That kind of thing. Making that positive experience turn into something more than just an application. Last thing on this slide is just categories and criteria that haven't been refined in years. Just because these categories worked 5 years ago does not mean that they're going to work now. A lot has happened in the last 5 years. I'm sure that your association has grown in the last 5 years. And so really moving with your program is important. Making sure that we're constantly adjusting and improving so that at the end of the day, we can give that better experience to everyone. Next thing are categories that reflect how members actually contribute. Kind of have touched on this a little bit, but just going back to that, a lot of the award programs we see are going to reward one thing, and that's usually going to be tenure and visible leadership. Which is great, but a lot of the times it takes a lot of time to get to that point. Leadership is going to be for that older crowd, so is that tenure. And so we really want to engage those younger members. That's something that we're hearing from a lot of our admin who are running award programs right now through their associations, is that their membership age is predominantly above the age of 50, about to the point of retirement, and less of their association membership is at that young age. And so, really encouraging that as well is great to make those younger members feel like they're more involved, like they're important, like they're doing something, because at the end of the day, you're only going to have those older members for so many more years, and you need that younger generation to come in to be able to kind of take over those older positions and really make their mark in your association. So building those inclusive categories across your full range of contribution, not only age, but also throughout departments, throughout different kind of areas that they are working, projects, kind of trying to figure out a category that everyone can be involved in, whether that's for a rising star or a rookie of the year, really involve that younger generation. Lifetime achievement is still helping showcase those who have been there for a long time and who have put their time in and deserve that award. Mentorship and innovation. Innovation is another one that can really be reflected by that younger generation. New, fresh ideas and really highlight that. Service and volunteerism and community impact, those are categories that can apply to everyone and are more than likely important or should be important to your association. You want those members to be active in your community, spreading the good word about what they're a part of, and just showing that there are really great people working for your association. So, a really great way to just include everyone. When there is a category or a potential for an award for every person involved, that's just going to automatically help you have more applications to that program, which again is important. We want to be growing every single year. Kind of following along with that is making recognition worth having. Kind of touching back with the 1 month award cycle, um, is it really worth going through a non-intuitive, not easy application process if I'm going to get a plastic trophy and a mass email saying congratulations on winning this award? Probably not. So number one thing you can do is visibility. If you do have a conference or a gala or anything where you have the community or your association all together, showcase those award members, give them the recognition that they deserve. You're having these award programs for a reason, you're giving out these awards for a reason. So give them that moment to shine. When you do kind of have that spotlight and that appreciation where people are seeing what you're doing, that's going to make them excited and encourage more people to apply or nominate others. Second thing is development opportunities. When you do have these award programs for those older, maybe your older generation of members who are getting these awards, that's a great opportunity for them to kind of bring in that younger generation under the wing. Really, again, focusing on getting everyone involved and helping everyone develop. Next thing can be conference benefits. So, again, kind of talking about being featured on stage. Maybe they get free registration, reserved seat for the event members that are already valued, that kind of thing. Giving them a little bit more of a benefit. Following right along with that is meaningful rewards, a gift card, a donation, a an extra, some more paid time off, something that is going to really show them that you are appreciative of them, they deserve this award. And instead of just giving them a piece of paper, really show that you do care about this. Once again, the award is here for a reason. You want to give them that. Public recognition moments, kind of same thing, share on your socials. One thing about that, aside of just highlighting your award recipients, is when people are seeing your posts on social media saying congratulations to those who have won your awards. That puts out a really good look for your association. You're going to be able, the community is going to be able to see that you appreciate those employees. You're doing things, giving employees opportunities to grow and to feel appreciated. It overall just makes everyone feel really good, puts a good wrap on your association. So another really great way to do that. And then career advancement, a credential or resume worthy distinction tied to the win. So really just showing another way that you appreciate the award is deserved. How can you help improve them even more in the next year? We just highlighted a lot on how we can recognize our nominees, our winners. But part of that is when and why and how we're going to do that. Quarterly spotlights, milestone moments, rolling nominations, and always visible. Something that we have at Reviewr is called a showcase, where we can put all of your winners and even nominees showcase all year long so you can see everyone who was considered for the awards. Really great way to kind of keep everyone in the know, see who has been nominated for what or who has won what, that kind of thing. Really great way to, again, just kind of keep everyone involved, everyone in the know. And that can also be visible to your community. You can get the community involved, do some community voting. Lots of different options there for how you want to showcase that and keep it going for more than just a month. Um, a couple other options is for your member communications. Continue to send out those emails, have that opportunity events, your social channels, and then through your awards. So keeping that going all year long rather than just one day out of the year. Moving on, kind of more towards the backside of your awards program is participation data that shows what's working. You run these award cycles every single year. You're going to your committee. You are wanting the budget. You're wanting the awards to be able to do this again from year to year. But how are you able to do that without reports showing you that this is making a difference? This is benefiting your association, and it should be something to continue. Rather than just opinion, Reviewr gives you reports from all of your submissions, your judging, everything that you could possibly need to look from year to year. So you can show that to your committee. You can show them that this is the impact you're making. This is how many of our members are actively engaging with us. And this is kind of how this is going on. Also going to help you see those members that are being involved in your association, who is nominating who's kind of putting the most in, and another opportunity for a great award. With that, on the same kind of side of reports, is just using that to improve from year to year. If you see that there's a category that there's not a lot of nominations for, maybe find one that best fits your organization at the time instead of that category. Using the reports to your advantage. A lot of the competitors that we work with, or your Google Forms or your PDFs, you don't have access to that kind of knowledge from a click of a button. And so really taking advantage of that and utilizing it to help you grow. Kind of following up on that is turning your insights into a sharper strategy. Going back onto the report side of things is using your review participation data, using those nominations, using all of that information that you can get from simple reports and making those categories better, making your actual submission form better. Something that we haven't touched on a lot is the actual submission process, which I will walk through a little demo for you all once we're done with the slides. But having a really intuitive submission process is really important. Something that is simple and quick and easy for applicants to understand is super important on keeping those retention rates growing, making those applicants want to continue to apply, wanting them to continue to nominate. Using those reports to your advantage to really customize your form, to be better every year and best fit your association every single year. Some of the key takeaways just from the webinar that we've talked about today is the design problem. Your marketing is not the issue, your outreach is not the issue, it's your process that is the issue. Let's get down to what are your question types in your submission form? How long is it? Is it confusing whether the application has been submitted, what the status of it is? Just not having an intuitive process and putting that somewhere where it's easy for your applicants to log in and apply. Their progress is saved throughout the application. They can come back in and check in a few days and see exactly the status of their application. Keeping them in the know is really important, and keeping them engaged. Number two is categories reflecting real work. Every kind of contribution, every kind of member should have some kind of opportunity to be featured in some category. You obviously aren't going to make categories for every job under the sun, but making sure that there's a category where someone can fit into it. Number three is recognition worth having. Give that incentive. Give them a reason to apply so that they continue to and then they continue to grow. Help them help you with your awards program. Next thing is making that awards program all year long. Not one deadline, keep it going. Give everyone that time to put their best effort towards this award so that you're having an awards program that's worth having. Winners stay visible. Put that on your showcase page, put it on your social media. Give them that time at your conference. Give those winners their chance to kind of show that they have put the work in and they earned that award. Data shows what is working. Use those reports to your advantage. That's something that not a lot of admin running these award programs have access to. Use those reports and use them to grow your program. If you're staying still, if you're stagnant, your awards program really isn't doing much for you. You want to increase that member engagement. You want to outreach to more members. Use the data to your advantage. Refine every single cycle. This is another big thing that admin are always kind of a little bit shaken up, don't want to change their program too much from year to year because at the end of the day, if you have to start from scratch and build something new, that is a lot of work. Um, we're very aware here at Reviewr that you running these programs is not your main job. This is something that's been added on or something seasonal. And so it's really important to us to make that process for you all as admin as easy as can be. So when we refine our cycle from each year, we're going to copy exactly the cycle we used from the previous year, make our edits, make our improvements, and then publish it. And that's what we use from year to year. The benefits of that is that nothing is changed or no data is removed or obstructed from your original event. You have all that to look back on, to see, to compare. But then you have your fresh event that's hopefully a little bit better, newer, that you can go on and you didn't have to build it from scratch. And then the last thing is members see themselves in it. Not just more nominations, but actual engagement. Give all members the opportunity to be involved in the program, be involved in the awards. Even if they didn't nominate someone, they could have been nominated and let them apply from there. So lots of different ways to kind of help make this a better process. Moving forward to what this can look like in Reviewr. Number one thing is categories that fit real contribution. Big thing with the categories, again, it's a lot of work to make new categories, new workflows. That's an easy process in Reviewr. That's an extra question, an extra page, a little bit of visibility, and that's done. Super easy process. Anyone who's getting started can get it done. Don't shy away and don't hurt your awards program by being scared of more work because at the end of the day, a Reviewr, that can be a really easy and quick process for you. Number two is recognition all year long. Once again, some admin might be scared that opening this up for a year long is going to just lead to more work, more issues. But at the end of the day, it's not. You can start the program and not really have to touch it until it comes time to review those awards, make your choices, and take that to wherever you're going to take it. It's not something that you have to constantly babysit. You could check on it once every few weeks and it would be perfectly fine. Third thing is visible, lasting recognition. Give those award recipients the visibility that they deserve. When you do that, that also is going to make everyone more aware of these award program that you're running. That's great that we're showcasing the recipient, and that's awesome. You should be doing that. But at the same time you're doing that, they're spreading awareness of these awards, getting people excited, saying, that could be me next year. For your team specifically, kind of going back to the admin side, is configurable categories and criteria. Everything can be completely customizable. So from year to year, when you want to make those changes, you can do that easily. Make the changes. If you don't like them, we can revert them back. Super easy process, easy for you to customize it and make it an overall better awards program that best fits your organization. One system for every program. A lot of associations that we have in Reviewr are running more than just awards. They might do a scholarship grant, call for entry, any other program like that. The really nice thing about that is that everything can be in Reviewr and in one place. So it's less maze of you finding the different programs, where you're running them, what file you have saved. Everything is in one place. And then last thing is participation reporting. See what's working and refine before the next cycle. Use those reports to your advantage for your participation, for your questions, what's been answered well, what hasn't been, what categories do we need to redefine. Those reports are built for you for a reason. Utilize them and help kind of make that a better process for you and make that application stronger from year to year. Okay, I'm gonna head over and give you guys a demo of what your awards program could look like in Reviewr. Again, if you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat. If not, we'll have time at the end where we can go ahead and do some questions there as well. So every program in Reviewr has a microsite, and this is completely customizable to fit your branding needs. You want your awards program to look like your association, so it's just kind of that familiarity with your members. So description, rules, and then they will create an account. The great thing about creating an account here is that all of their progress is saved, and when you run these programs from year to year, all they have to do is log in, start a new application, and everything is in one place. Lots of benefits of having account creation, the save progress live, everything kind of along those lines. Great way to kind of get that all involved. They'll create an account. The other thing with the email, the first name, last name with the account creation is that then can be auto-filled into applications, which again just makes that process easier for those applicants. Something else that we like to kind of touch on with awards is if you're doing a nomination nominee process, we want to keep that nomination form short and sweet. We want them to get to the point. Why did you nominate them? And then send that off to the nominee. And the reason for that being is because to get the best scope of who truly is the best fit for that award, the nominees themselves, excuse me, should be the ones filling out that information because they best know themselves. They know what they should be highlighting. They have all of the credible, accurate information. When you have the nominators fill out too much, it does kind of become a guessing game. And at that point, is that fair? How good are these guesses? Again, super simple. Who are you nominating? Really brief information. What's their job title? Describe why they should be awarded. List the top three accomplishments. Again, super short and sweet. Give that story of why they're being nominated and submit. From there, when they put the information in of who they've nominated, that invite will then be sent to the nominee. They will click it. They'll see what they've been nominated for. And then that nominee really has their chance to go and actually really showcase who they are, showcase why they deserve this award, everything that they've done leading up to it, which just makes a really great process. Something with this is that the great thing about Reviewr is that the question types are endless. Any kind of question that you would want to format is possible. Multiple choice, check boxes, essays, short answer, lots of different options and flexibility to really tailor your awards program to be perfect for you. If you have letter of references for these awards, we can do that same process where we invite the recommenders in. They'll come into Reviewr and submit that for them. Really great process. Upon submit, your submitters will have access to see what their status in. They'll get that confirmation email. And so that kind of takes away that gray area that typically admins are left having to deal with of what's the status of my submission? Was it fully submitted? Is there anything else I need to do? Next thing I want to show you is just what that evaluation process looks for your judges. We haven't really touched on that a lot today, but this is one of the most important parts of your award program is how these submissions are being judged. We want to have a fair experience. We want to have a good experience for the judges because just as much as that good experience is spread word of mouth from the members who are applying and being nominated, same goes for the judges. When they see the different award categories, request people and encourage them to go apply to them. Really important that our judges have a good experience. And also for the fact that most of the time your judges are going to be volunteers. So give those volunteers who are taking the time out of their day a good experience and help them want to come back. When judges log in, they'll see all the submissions assigned to them. If you are running an awards program where you need to keep the personal information anonymous, we can block out any questions, anything along those lines, personal information. And then when you actually view a submission as a judge, over here on the left, we have the entire application form. So if I'm judging Leslie Nope, this is her application form. Every part of it is over here. And then over on this right side, we have the, excuse me, we have the evaluation form. One thing that we also didn't touch on, but is important with evaluation forms is we really want to ask the questions that are going to help us rate based on what is most important to us. So whether that's your extracurriculars, your leadership. And then the other thing with that is that we want to do more of emotional based responses as opposed to numerical. And the reason for that being is a lot of times judges have different opinions on what different numerical values mean. And also, when you give them too many values to kind of choose between, it kind of becomes a decision of, well, why did you choose this number over this number for these applications? And it really, there's no rhyme or reason. It's just what they clicked. They can see their total score at the bottom. Every file is attached for them. Another big complaint we get from our judges is having to open up a million tabs, having different files open, keeping everything organized across all of their assignments is really difficult. And so having everything in one place for them is really important. They have the ability to write notes and comments that can or cannot be shared to the applicants based on what your configuration settings are. If you do have that letter of recommendation invite, that can be added in here as well. Lots of flexibility, lots of visibility for your judges, everything in one place that they could possibly need. Really great experience for them. That kind of rounds out what I wanted to show you with the application process and then the judging process. I'm gonna hop back over into our slideshow and then just leave the last few minutes of the webinar for you guys to ask any questions that you have. You can put them in the chat, you can unmute yourself if you'd like. If you have questions that are specific to your awards program, that's great. Whatever you would like, you can go ahead and ask, put in the chat whatever you'd like. I will be sending out a follow-up after the webinar today, probably by the end of day today. And then you can always go back and rewatch this if there's topics that you needed a refresher or wanted to slow down. It will be published on Reviewr's website on the webinars on demand page. So lots of options. If you guys have any questions for me, I'll hang out in here for just a little bit. Hang out for just a couple more minutes if anyone has longer questions to type out. I have not touched on pricing, but that's a great question. There is typically a base value for your contract, but it always does depend kind of on the size of program that you're running, what specifics you kind of want. That's a great question to ask on a demo. I'll send a link for a Calendly invite for a demo, where you can kind of talk more on pricing structure. But typically there's a base price and then you add on a price per submission. All right. If we don't have any other questions, I will go ahead and end it here. Be on the lookout for a follow-up email with a link to book that demo if you have some more one-on-one questions or just want to learn a little bit more about what Reviewr has to offer and how that can work for your awards program. But thank you everyone for joining, and we will see you next time.